Patty, just so you know, I just resumed recording, so you know
I
it's.
see that.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay, just double checking. This way we're covered.
Thank you.
Well, I think what we'll do is I think we'll get going, and John probably will come right on. I'm assuming he might have gotten held up even at work, because he gets home kind of late. So we'll start, and I'll say welcome everyone to our September 1st Village Board meeting. This meeting is being held remotely. As with all our past meetings, the link is always available on our village website for all of our village board, planning board, and zoning board meetings. If you could all please, unless you are a board member, or even at this time board members too, please mute, if you have not already, your microphones. And you can say the Pledge of Allegiance along with me on mute, if you don't mind. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'm going to go right from the pledge to the reports this evening, the department reports. If you hear a dog in the background, that would be my dog sitting dog, by the way. It's not mine, but I'll see if it gets worse. Dean will take over and I'll handle that. Stop.
Carrie, just please clarify to the dog that the public comment period has not started.
Yeah, she's new. She's not normally here. Like I said, dog sitting. Well, a couple of things that I just want to mention. Back in July, we talked about beginning in-person meetings starting in September. Really, the thought was as things start opening up, like schools and restrictions would lessen, perhaps, we didn't know, but at that time we were thinking we would be able to do that. But after discussion this week with board members and staff, we decided to continue holding our meetings virtually for all of our boards until further notice. This format we feel allows all of our staff, our boards, and our residents to participate safely, while at the same time, we are able to get all our village business accomplished. It's been working well. So for right now, we're gonna stick with this format and we'll let you know with plenty of notice when it changes, okay? That's my first one. My second report is basically just a reminder, a last stitch reminder about the census. There's been a lot going on. You've probably seen some stuff on social media in Altamont or in the paper. There's been letters. There's been nixles going out. Nick's been good about sending nixles out. We had a census event about a week ago. Altamont's doing very well. We're at 75%, but we're still not all counted yet. The enumerators are coming around door to door. So if they come to your door, if you could please greet them nicely and work with them. It takes just a few minutes. They don't come in your house. They're wearing their PPE. It's been going very well. So we're in the crunch time for that, and we really want to make sure everyone in the village counts because we all benefit from that, the money that will come to us after we get counted. I do want to say thanks especially to Jim Gaughan, Joe Burke, and Nick Fahrenkopf for the efforts that they've been putting forth to make sure that they get the word out, and they're going to continue to do that the next couple of weeks. So thank you all so much for working with us on that. We really appreciate it. I'm going to move on to the Altamont. Let's go Altamont Fire Department. I'll move across the way. I don't know if we had the report come in. Yes. Sorry,
No.
No, it didn't. Okay. Let's say I have my 3 here. I don't have that one. Public Works report. I think everybody received that one. I'll mention some highlights. They just recently finished replacing a water main on Fairview. That was not a planned project for this year, but we had 1 water main break that turned into 3. And Jeff felt that it was just better to replace that piece of line, and it was a good chunk. So that was unexpected, both cost and project, but it's been needed for a very long time. So it was great that they got that done. We discussed that we really wanted to pave Lark this year, but now we're doing work on Lark as well, and it times out really well for next spring because they're going to let what they just did settle on Fairview, And then when they finish Lark, settle on Lark, and we have enough money in our CHIPS funds to do both roads next year. They're both in really need of it if you've been down there. So I think that'll be a great, just a great improvement for that side of town. We've been working on that the last couple of years. So I think those, we're getting pretty far with all that. He says they were getting the dams ready for yearly inspections this week. They're starting spring meter readings. So if you see Public Works Department folks going door to door, looking at your meter, they have their fluorescent vests on, you'll notice them. That's what they've started already. And they have also covered the final tank, covered the final tank of the treatment plant per DEC recommendation. And they're working continuously in Bosenkill Park with their extra time or rainy days, because we're doing improvements. We couldn't open the camp this year. We decided not to do that, or the pool. So we are doing much needed improvements there. And I was down there, it's looking very nice. It'll be great for camp next spring. It'll be a nice fresh start. So that is the Public Works. Let's see. Police Department, we're gonna talk a little bit about later, something Todd sent to us. I'll go right to, did I miss any Public Works part? That's everything. Treasurer's report. We have the vouchers are in the office that you've had a chance to review. And could I get a motion to approve the vouchers in the abstract for this month?
I'll move it.
Michelle is first and second.
I will second.
Dean, roll call, please.
Trustee Whalen,
In favor?
Trustee Ganance,
In favor.
Trustee Farronkov,
In favor.
Mayor Janine.
In favor. Okay, I'm going to move to the public comment period. If anybody on online right now wants to tell us something that you have on your mind, or you can unmute yourself, and I'm trying to watch for you so I can call on you if I can. If you have a camera, that's good too. I don't see any movement. Okay, I'm going to move on to the agenda. I'm going to go to item number 1, which is a discussion on Village of Altamont rules and procedure for village board meetings. This was a document, I think I sent it out, I don't know, a month ago or so to our board to start looking at. This has been something that's been in place a long time, but going through some procedures the last 3 years, we've noticed some tweaks that need to take place. Much of it comes from the NICOM manual itself. So we made some needed revisions. I know board members some of you had a chance to get back to us on whether it be some grammar things we found wrong, typos, things like that. And I'm going to switch to another, sorry, I have to switch to another screen to get mine up, what I want to talk about. So this is a document that it's not governs, but it's kind of just a procedures for all 3 boards. And what happens is it's adapted for all 3. So ours will say obviously the planning board, or sorry, the village board. The other one say ZBA or the planning board. After we reviewed it, we sent it forward to the planning board and the ZBA. And we thought we had it kind of set. Planning board approved it initially, but then we had some questions, and it's hard because we have to have consistent procedures for all 3 boards except for some timeline things. So when the ZBA discussed it, let me go backwards a little, sorry. The planning board, Danny Ramirez came to the planning board meeting, and he gave his input also that evening, and we thought we had worked out some things, but then the next night when the ZBA met, I guess some people found some things that when we got discussing it, we said, yeah, we need to relook at something. It all came down to 1 paragraph of timing and things like that. So everything our board looked at and approved is the same. But there was one, I don't know if you have it in front of you, it was section 5, bullet 5. So it was all about timing and how we receive materials from the public to give the boards time to review and the office time to actually facilitate that information and get it to the boards. However, the ZBA came up with some good points about, when those comments should be received, which, public hearings or public comment, depending on the board. So there is, and Allison has had the opportunity, she has gone through the document before we got it, before I sent it out to everybody, and for this next part. But I don't know if it helps if I do what we want to change paragraph 5, bullet 5 to is submission of public comment on a specific application must be submitted to the secretary of the board during the duly noticed public hearing period. All materials for the board must be submitted by mail, hand-delivered, or emailed to the secretary of the board. And Dean, you were in on these conversations as well at those 2 meetings. So maybe, I don't know if there's something you want, if that sounds good to you. We're not voting on it, we're discussing it. Those boards will have the opportunity to vote on it before we do.
Right. Yeah, that actually is somewhat of the line that I was thinking. I was actually wordsmithing that paragraph a little bit too when I saw it. I don't have it handy myself. I just thought it was, I think that covers it. What I was thinking is maybe simpler is just simply putting for public hearing documentations, comma, and then at the bottom of that paragraph, again, I don't have it in front of me.
Right.
I think what has been changed from the ZBA suggestions probably does the same thing.
Yeah, I took what they were talking about and I sent that to our counsel, Allison, and I gave her a few versions and she thought that would work. It covers the public hearing, who it's submitted to and how. It takes away the timelines that were getting really kind of confusing because again, it's different. We have a public comment, they have a public hearing. I mean, we can, you know what I'm saying, for most of their applications. So.
And that's why I'll just add, Carrie, that's why in your revised language, you included, submission of public comments on a specific application, because an application that's before the board is going to have a public comment period. And so, that's where you kind of distinguish between, residents of the village can always submit, comments or letters to their various boards, and the boards will consider them and decide if they, raise anything that should be put on the agenda or anything like that. But a specific comment on someone else's application, the law provides for a public hearing comment period. And you have to kind of have a definitive time frame for that because you need to be sure that, things are submitted properly into the record of the proceeding on that application.
Does that make sense? Want me to read it again?
Yeah, if you could read it. Yeah, I would love to hear it again. Thank you.
Yeah, I put submission of public comment on a specific application must be submitted to the secretary of the board during the duly noticed public hearing period. All materials for the board must be submitted by mail, hand-delivered, or emailed to the secretary of the board.
Should that be changed to public comment period, not public hearing period?
Well, because they don't have public comment periods during ZBA and planning board, it's public hearing when they are looking at an application. We do have a public comment, but it was specific, like, anybody can come to our public comment and comment. So this kind of.
Yeah, so this is really, because the concern I think was it was open-ended as to when comments could stop coming.
Right.
Except for a public hearing situation.
It was, but then they really talked through that where we've had the issues where it kind of opened Pandora's box where it was, it was ended and we kept accepting comments and, daily. And that's where, and honestly, that's trying to be very flexible and open about those things. It gets very difficult for the boards to actually review what's coming in a timely manner. And that's why public hearings are, there's a time for that.
Well, yeah, right. But I thought the dilemma with the way it was written when the ZBA reviewed it was for actions that are not public hearing issues. How do you stop just constant comments all the way up to the day of the meeting that have nothing to do with public hearing timeline? That was, I think, the second kind of issue. It's almost a reverse issue. For example, at Coors, we just kept getting letter after letter after letter, even after the public hearing was closed.
Right.
That was what one of the concerns was, is how do you cut that off, or how do you at least set a time frame for that doesn't bury the office staff as well?
I think, Allison, you and I discussed this. The fact of the matter is that was by doing what we were doing, we created this problem. Correct?
Okay.
Yeah, and I think, that you have to kind of walk a fine line because, I mean, residents of the village, they have a right to petition their government. They have a right to, to correspond with you. They have a right, to open up time in your meeting to come and just comment. That's very different from a member of the public submitting comments on someone else's application or a specific application where you have a defined record of proceedings that, comments need to be submitted during the public hearing comment. Because in fairness to the applicant, the law provides once that public comment period is over, you're supposed to close that record to public comments. So there has to be, a definitive time frame for submission of comments on a specific application. I think that's different from a resident's general right to, petition, their government. And so, that I think can be left more up to the discretion of the board. If they're being bombarded with letters about some matter of general public policy or some matter generally affecting the village, it's up to the board, to decide if there's been sufficient time for everyone to review that, to discuss it at the meeting, or if it should be put on the agenda. That's a total discretionary decision, how you choose to, address, those general comments.
And we've done that in the past. Things have come in, and so we'll address it. We'll either put it on the agenda for discussion, or, we felt like it had already been asked and answered. We may not have. It depends on what we haven't had a lot of that, but we've done that. So this does address the applications specifically, and then leaves it up to the boards to filter any, other things, or chair people actually for the boards to have a discussion on. So I don't know. Go ahead.
And then this should serve, with this wordsmithing, this should serve back to the other two boards. They should be comfortable with this as well. Right?
Yeah, so what we would do is, if you're comfortable with that wording, I already sent Deb Hext and Danny Ramirez an email telling them we'd be discussing this, and I would send forward. That was the only part that they had agreed on, both boards, on all the rest of the tweaks. So that's the only portion that we need to get down and have them review. Have them review it, through email, and in case they have any questions, they can talk to their chairpersons. And then either meet, right, we talked to Allison about this as well, they can, meet separately and adopt, or they could meet together and do it in one night so there are no questions, and, they're all on the same page type of a thing. And Dean only has to go to one meeting, so.
And the board, I think it would be the ZBA, if that's not their regular meeting night, or it would be the plan, but they would just have to notice that as a special meeting for their board.
That's true, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I did write them and say that I think, we thought about the ZBA because I know your availability wasn't there on the one night, but I think that'll be too soon. We may have to just pick a date, if they are in agreement to do that, pick a date where, they have your availability and they can pick a date that way, and then we can notice it.
Great.
We'll see if they're interested first. I mean, they don't have to do it that way. But
Sure.
it might be easier. So everybody else okay with that wording for now to send forward to their boards? Give me a thumbs up or a nod, or all right. Nice, excellent. All right, let's see. I got to jump back to my agenda. Sorry about that. Okay,
Can I ask a completely separate question?
sure.
Last bullet of section 6, and this is just genuinely a question to make sure I understand correctly.
Yep.
Says that unless otherwise specified by state law, a majority of the totally authorized voting power of the board must vote in favor. So quorum, even for the village board, is 3 out of 5. So if we open a meeting with only 3 members, you need all 3 members to vote in favor to pass something. It's not a majority of those present and voting, correct?
Correct.
Right.
Just want to make sure I understood.
That's like a super majority. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, are we good?
Yep.
I'll move on to agenda item number 2. It says, consider authorizing Mayor Denine to sign our,
Did we need to vote on that, or that's just a
no, it
FYI?
was just a discussion tonight. I didn't want to vote. I wanted you to review that one,
Okay.
paragraph, and then we'll send that forward. And once they've approved it, and then we'll do it in October.
Okay.
Okay. Otherwise, we keep going back and forth if there's changes, so it'll be difficult. Consider authorizing Mayor Denine to sign RBC Wealth Management letter authorizing RBC Wealth Management to issue 2019 Service Award one-time payments of $700 to David E. Cowan, William H. Ernst, and Thomas J. Pearson, AFD members. Could I have a motion, please?
I'll make that move.
I'll second.
And Nick, okay, Got Dean and then Nick. And can I have roll call, please?
Trustee Whalen,
In favor?
trustee Ganance,
In favor.
trustee Farronkov,
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor. I'm going to go to item 3. It says consider approval for Mike Murphy and Dylan Wachter to attend firefighter 1 training in Colony and David Kellerman to attend basic exterior firefighting operations in Queens. Could I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Nick was first and
I'll
second.
second it.
Michelle, and roll call, please.
Trustee Whalen,
In favor?
trustee Ganance,
In favor.
trustee Farronkov,
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor. Item 4 is consider approval to expend up to $55,000 from the Police Car Reserve Fund for 2021 Ford Explorer P1 vehicle per recommendation of Todd Pusey, Chief of Police. And I'm going to switch to something he sent us that you guys had received. Sorry, I got to get to my next page. This is out of our reserve fund. It's something we've been saving for, and it's on the rotation of our vehicle purchase, just like the fire department. So we're purchasing it at the right time with the money that we've saved or put into the account. There was some question about, why did they choose this vehicle? And so I had asked Todd if he could write something up for us. So it was purchased through the state contract process on OGS Vehicle Marketplace. We currently, all our fleet are Fords. They wanted to stay with a Ford. Chevy had a Tahoe, and Dodge has a Challenger in a police package option, but Ford stopped making a sedan. So their only choice was a police SUV, which is the Explorer, and it came in 3 engine options, which were regular, turbo, or hybrid, and they wanted to go with the hybrid because the initial cost was higher, but the savings and using less savings in using less gas was substantial, or would be substantial. And they wanted to have the environmental benefits as well. So this is the vehicle and that they chose, and this is kind of all in one. Usually sometimes we get a vehicle and have to then put the equipment on it later, but this is coming all with the bells and whistles and all that thing, all those things. So could I have a motion to approve?
Yeah, you should. I'll make that motion, but I want to add a little.
All right, Dean, let me
I'll
get
second.
and then we'll go back. Dean, and then Nick is second, and go ahead, Dean.
Well, you should probably clarify that the purchase price is slightly less than the amount we're looking to authorize because it's trying to cover some costs such as signing the vehicle, right?
Yes, what you just said. What you just said. There you go. You just did it for me. Perfect. And can I have roll call, please?
Trustee Whalen,
In favor?
trustee Ganance,
In favor.
trustee Farronkov,
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor. I'm going to move to item number 5, resolution to affirm Mayor Denine's appointment of Dan Hitt to planning board member from alternate member. This position was vacated by the death of former member Connie Rue and has a 5-year term which expires on March 31st, 2025. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Dean, and second.
I'll second.
Nick, and roll call, please.
Trustee Whalen,
In favor?
trustee Ganance,
In favor.
trustee Farronkov,
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor.
If I could just add,
Sure.
that was an easy motion to make because Dan is really a good addition to the planning board.
Yeah, lots of expertise there. I'm going to move to item 6. Oh, hold on, guys. Sorry. Oh, I see what just happened. Sorry, I have John waiting, and I didn't see he was texting me, and I didn't see it on the screen. So I'll wait a second for John to connect. Apologize about that. Poor John. I wonder how long he's been there. Let's see. I think he's coming on.
Yeah.
John, I'm sorry. I did not see it in the waiting room, and I didn't see you texting me to let you in.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, guys. I mean, I was signing on and I had to download the new app. I'm like,
Okay.
'cause I have a new computer, and I'm like, I've been signing on. For like, I was here for like forever. I go, hope they don't forget about me.
Honestly, I think we got going, and I didn't see it. Usually it flashes. I didn't see the flash. I apologize.
Oh, yeah. And I'm like, did I miss something? Is there something different? I apologize.
We're at item 6, so that's where
Item
we
6.
are.
All right.
John.
All right.
Hey, John,
Yes.
the bad news, since you weren't in attendance, we've assigned everything that needs research to you.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. Oh yeah.
Everything that needs research.
I'm in Cape May right now, so I won't be able to sign it until I get back.
Oh, gotcha. All right, I'm gonna go to item 6. Consider,
Okay.
oh, you there? Okay.
Yeah.
Consider request of Altamont Fire Department to dispose surplus equipment per request of Kyle Haynes, Chief. The list of the surplus equipment is on the attached document. Could I have a motion, please?
So moved. I'll second that.
Who did the second, John?
No,
Who was the first?
give it to John and I'll second
John
it.
is first, Nick will be second. Sorry about that. Roll call.
Trustee Whalen,
In favor?
trustee Ganance,
In favor.
trustee Farronkov,
In favor.
trustee Scally,
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor.
And just one thing real quick, Carrie, this is something that I know the fire department's been working on for years, so I'm really happy to see they've actually started clearing out the firehouse and getting rid of old equipment.
That's great.
It was some cool stuff they found.
Yeah, they could put it in the museum maybe, but something that's got to go.
Actually, now,
I was
how are they gonna
impressed by
do
all
that?
this stuff.
Is that going to be an auction of the entire lot, or how are they going to do that?
Oh man, don't put me on the spot. I think they look for bids and they give it to lowest bidder, but it's not all at once. I think they broke it up into different bids. So there's like a lot for hoses or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, because I may actually bid on the farm tracks.
Oh, you weren't supposed to
Best
tell
of
me
luck
that.
to you.
People may bid against you.
I shouldn't have said anything. Yeah.
I know. That's what I'm saying. All right, let's go to, where I am, I lost my place. 7, okay, sorry about that. Resolution authorizing the Village of Altamont to solicit bids for the demolition of vacant structure at 759 Route 146, Altamont, New York, 12009. Can I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion, Carrie.
Nick,
I will second it.
Michelle, second. Dean, did you have a question?
No, I was just going to second, but Michelle's
Oh,
second.
okay, sorry about that. Roll call, please.
Trustee Whalen,
In favor?
trustee Ganance,
In favor.
trustee Farronkov,
In favor.
trustee Scally,
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor. Item 8 is consider approval of board minutes for July 21st, 2020. Could I have a motion, please?
So moved.
I'll
John
second.
was first, and I think Dean was second.
Mhm.
Yes, okay, and roll call.
Trustee Whalen,
In favor?
trustee Ganance,
In favor.
trustee Farronkov,
In favor.
trustee Scally,
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor. Before I go to item 9, does anybody on the board have anything else they want to bring up tonight? Okay, so I'm going to go to item 9, consider motion to adjourn. Could I have a motion, please?
Sorry, one real quick, Carrie. Just a reminder, I believe this month is another meeting of the town fire chiefs and fire commissioners. Unfortunately, I don't remember where it is, but if anybody's interested, I'll send something out, 7 o'clock on Thursday. Always a very exciting meeting.
Yeah. Well, send it out and we'll see
will.
if some people
Yeah.
can attend.
Yeah, I can't go on Thursday, but
That's
Yeah.
fine.
We'll see where it is. And they're not virtual. They're all in person now?
They skipped one meeting and then we were in person in July at the training tower. We were outside, so we were able to spread out a decent amount. But as far as I know, it'll be in person as well.
Okay,
But yeah, I'll send out the details. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
thanks. Can I have a motion to adjourn? I don't know if we did it. Lost her.
So moved.
All right, John, sorry about that. And Dean, can you be second?
yeah, that's fine.
Lovely. Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Whalen,
In favor?
trustee Ganance,
In favor.
trustee Farronkov,
In favor.
trustee Scally,
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor. Thank everybody for coming tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you, Allison, for coming. Patty, just so you know, participants 12 if you need that.
Thank
And-
you.
I just want to figure I'd tell you that. We'll see you all in October. Have a good night.
Night, everybody.
Gary, John has to stay on the Zoom meeting for another 23 minutes. before-
Okay.
I'll sit there and smile. Want me to walk over to the beach?
No, it's not
Take
fair.
a laptop. Take a laptop.
All
Where
right,
am
have
I
a good night, guys.
Bye-bye now, everybody.
Bye.